I have been dishing advice on things that I'll do immigrating abroad wherever you're going to in 2025. I have given my opinion and I want to answer a question because one of my last videos, somebody said, all I hear are complaints, negative things. What would you say that we could do if you were looking to travel, considering how our economies back home seem to be struggling? Is it all bleak? What would you advise? And I thought, you know what, that's a fair comment. If I had to immigrate in 2025 as an adult, or say in my mid or late 30s, 40s, or even 50s, I'll do things completely different from what I see happening, and I'm going to share my opinion in this video today. The things that I wish a lot of people have said they wish they knew because they've come and experienced. So I'll do this video for you guys. The operative word is if I have to, not if I want to, or more if I need to for whatever reason, because I'm aware that there's security unrest. There's all sorts of things that this video cannot really dive deep to understand. So I am conscious that people have different reasons why they move. So people actually come to study abroad when they're older. But let's just stick to the recent skill visas, or OCS routes, or you just thinking, I've had it in Africa, I've had it and I want to come here. I will do these things, okay? If you are a couple, if you choose that you want to do it like a unit, I'll give you my pros and my cons, and I'll give you my honest advice on what you should do, because I have seen this happen. I've met people every day. I have this conversation, and I'll say that the first thing to do is, if you must come at this age, more mature with family, please do not sell all of your investments back home to pay any fees, because let's do the maths, okay? There was a time that I was hearing some very worrying numbers that people paid just to get visas to travel. I'm talking £6,000 per person. Let's multiply that by, say, 4. That's 25,000. 25,000, you might actually have a small land or property that you've built and worked so hard over the years to build. Now, if you decide to sell that property and come abroad, do you know how long it takes for us who are in the system to save £1,000, irrespective of how much you earn when you've got a family? You've got bills that you have never imagined exist. Forget about the tax where you pay tax. Everybody's been saying this, but trust me, you pay tax for literally everything. And I'd said in one of my videos that the only thing you don't pay tax for is to breathe. When you pay all of this tax, sometimes the more you earn, the brackets, when you get higher up the brackets, you pay more tax. What you're left with every month, it's so hard to have an okay life and save, especially if you've only just come. Now, there is a caveat to this. If you're coming to this country as a skilled worker or as an expat, baby, you're not in this category. You're a senior citizen. And I've seen a few cases. I talked about a YouTuber I follow, Adesi. I think her husband came that way, where her whole family was flown in. They actually traveled business class, looked after. I love that. I love that for us. And I don't think they sold anything because everything was catered for by the company. I might be wrong, but honestly, I have people who have traveled like experts, they've shipped their things. But if you're coming to hustle, you've got a job in a care, maybe this care jobs, please, can you do your maths? Find out how much you pay every month. If both of you are working with kids, if you've got young kids, childcare, and talking about kids, please, please, please do not bring your kids with you. I beg you. This is not just because of the cost, it's because of the life. When I say kids, I mean if you have any kids under 18, and I think that anybody over would not really fall under your problem as such. I know that you love them. We all love them, and sometimes we travel because of them. Please, can we stop saying that we're traveling abroad because of our kids? I can do a whole video, and I've done videos here and there about raising kids abroad. I have raised 4. And I have nieces, nephews, people daily. This topic is a whole conversation that can go on for hours. When you watch our kids abroad and you watch kids back home, it's night and day. There are some good aspects because I speak good English. That's about it. I'm not here to demonize traveling with kids, but our kids here have a lot to learn. They don't have the same upbringing, the same values. Whatever you do in your home, it's not the same. They go to school, they're told that if your parents do this to you, you call the police. As young as 5-year-olds, they tell you exactly how they feel. You're being rude, please close it. Or they tell you how they feel. It's good to be expressive, but there's a thin line between our culture and that, and you will never understand the challenges that people go through when they live here. And the worst thing is when they cannot afford to live in more affluent areas and they tend living in what I'll class as working class areas, where they have government subsidized housing or council housing, or in the US we'll say projects. Honestly, you've taken your kids from gold, literally from gold, from them living in a very, very upper class upbringing, good private schools. And then you come here, they've traveled, you've sold your things, you've brought them. They were doing well in school. They had friends they could trust. I went through this like a child, and I've said this before. If you watch my older videos, I'm a child who was born abroad, okay? And it was different because I did not know any different. When I got to the age where I started making friends, 11, 12, we moved back home. And that distorted not just me and my siblings, because all of what we'd built was taken and we had to start afresh, and we never quite fitted in. Some of my brothers suffered more and had more repercussions, but if I could avoid doing that. That's why a lot of us want to take our kids back. So people have tried. The kids have found themselves back. Look at the story of the Ghanaian boy who was going out of hands and his parents tried to bring him back. This boy reported and his parents got to court because he felt like he was taken against his will. I hear these stories and I laugh, because in our time, they did not even tell us we're moving. So we're going on holiday and we never came back. And who are you to say anything? But guys, please, this story of coming with your kids is not only very expensive. You're coming abroad for the first time, some of you. You don't even know what to expect. A friend has said, I'll keep you, or you pay rent for 3 months. You just want to travel because, it's a status thing, but it's so misleading because I can go on. Please, you come out. Always say one person should come first and survey. Get the visa for everybody if you can afford to, or at least for you and your partner. If you can put them in very good boarding schools that you trust, you might pay a lot more, but you would not be paying anywhere close to what you'll pay for a private boarding school here. I can assure you that. We're talking £30,000 a year. So if you can spend 5,000, or I don't know how much they cost, back home to send your kids to a private school and come and test the waters. Let them have stability, maybe till they're a bit older. I always say the best time to come is either for a degree or for a master's, because one, you've learned a lot about your culture, respect, values, family, love. You don't think that it's okay to call your aunties and uncles by their first names. I have a lot of nieces and nephews, and I can see the difference when they come here, those who were born here, my kids. But of course, like a parent abroad, you can do all you can do, but we had them in our 20s. Before I hit 30, I had 3 kids. It's different. I have grown up with them in the culture, understand the culture, understand certain things. I'm more flexible. But trust me, if you're an African and you bring your kids here, and they tell you what our kids tell us, because we have absorbed the shock, you will lose it. And I'm telling you that you people end up, both of you, behind bars, because he will hurt you and you hurt them with time. So you don't have the same sort of understanding. Maybe when you come, you understand the system and you survey it for your own self. Is the job worth it? And if possible, guys, don't cut ties if you have a business or you have a job. Let one person stay for stability and you can always visit. If things are good, and like I said, it's a very good paying skill job, come with them, keep your business ties, maybe even get more investment home before you come here. Don't make that fatal mistake to sell your things. I say that traveling is one of the best education that you can give yourself. It's not formal, it's quite informal, but it's very, very needed. It's positive, right? I cannot fault traveling, because as I said, I have probably been to almost all European countries. Even the smallest Eastern European countries, I've been there. So I know that traveling has exposed me and has taught me things that I would never have known. But I'm traveling and I'm spending a few £100s here and there to catch a flight without needing a visa. But when I think about the process for us to get visas to come here, I always say is it worth it to move? Come on holidays. Yes, if you can afford to travel. And a lot of people came to me after my last video and said, oh, because you guys have connection, it's destitution for people are struggling, there are no jobs. Those of you who come here like adults, how dare you talk about not having money? Where have you found the money to pay for all these visa applications? Where? If you are struggling for real, you will not afford the thousands, 20,000, 30,000 to move a family of 5. Honestly, it's such a silly excuse. It's a cop out, because those who are really struggling, when I say struggling, people who don't have food to eat cannot afford these visa fees. I can tell you that. That's why the American DV lottery changed lives, because people genuinely had skills but they could not travel. Those of you who are skilled, working in offices, big cars, selling houses, you're talking to me about not having money? Please, you don't even understand what that means to be in desperation for work, for money, to make ends meet. So let's try to just pack that point. The other thing that I'll do if I came in my 30s and 40s is I will start thinking immediately about going back, and I would not pursue permanent residency for myself. I'll say that again. I will not pursue permanent residency if I was in my 40s. If it happens while I'm working and enjoying life, I will do it. But one thing that seems to be the case is when you start pursuing it, it seems like they're not mutually exclusive. You just find yourself only thinking that you cannot achieve anything without it. It seems like a mental thing. Come here, if you have a good job, by all means work. Try to balance your life, because a lot of times people very well, they come, work too hard because their goals are slightly unrealistic. They want to do this, they want to buy a house, they want to pay for this immigration, they want to bring their kids. Hold up, you're not 20, okay? You have spent your prime years, I'm hoping, working hard back home, and you have something to your name. Even if you don't, I would not say go and kill yourself working that hard, no, because I number of people who have started having some sort of health crisis, hypertension, high blood pressure, heart diseases. It's going so high because of the pressure we put ourselves. At that age, honestly, you should be unwinding. But if you want to hustle, please hustle, and always think about going back. Look at it like a time that you've experienced, say, a 5-10 years period in your life, where you've come abroad, you've worked, you've gained the experience, because working abroad, or even studying if you're older abroad, you have an edge over others, which is a sad reality. I know that people picked on that in my last video, and I studied here. Whenever I see jobs home, I've been offered jobs that I've not taken because of different circumstances. But if you want to take it like a 10-year experience, by all means, but please don't come and think that you cannot go back. So don't burn bridges, don't spoil your immigration status. If they're not going to renew it, go back, so that you can always have the flexibility to come back in the future. Because if you find yourself here older, listen to me, if you're over 40 or even late 30s, or worst case, people in the 50s, and you've destroyed your visa and you're not able to go back, and you find yourself stuck, it's the worst thing. There are people, older citizens, who have lost their parents, lost their siblings. They've been here for 15, 20 years, and they've never been able to go back because the immigration rules keep changing. There was such a time that they'll give you compassion after staying here illegally, I think for 15 years. I don't know if that still exists, but they keep trying to crack down, and you're always living on the edge. Is it worth it? If they don't renew your visa, please take yourself and go back, because you'll thank me later. Don't live like a prisoner, where when you hear an ambulance, you run to your own death thinking it's a police car, a van. It's not a life that I want anybody to live in. It isn't. So if you're coming older, it's not all bleak. You can make it. And the last thing I'll say, which is very important, is come with an extra skill. Don't come like we did. And I keep saying that any person, I've got relatives who have come recently through the OCS route. The first thing I said to them is, if you're a woman, learn a trade. I look around and people are making so much money. Yes, because you're not leaving Africa to come, and people say it's not about money. If it's not about money, stay in your home. If you're coming here, I know and you know that it's mostly about money. So if you're coming, learn a skill, an added skill. If you are, say, a professional in whatever field, right? You want to do care, you're a nurse, you are whatever, IT, please learn a skill, because at this age you're playing catch up. You are playing catch up abroad, especially if you claim you've got nothing back home, right? Learn how to braid hair, weaves, wigs, maybe even sew, bake. You can cater weekends. There are a lot of things that you can do that will set you apart from everybody else who comes and pursues extra shifts weekend where the taxman smiles his way to your bank account. For men, oh my God, don't get me started. I've said this in several videos that the amount of money I spend to keep my house renovated every year could possibly buy me it could buy me another home, a small home back home, because builders, those in the trade industry in this country, are the ones who are really cashing out. To paint a house, just something as painting, do some crash course before you come. Don't be proud. Don't think that is beneath you, because here you see a builder come up from the Ferrari and enter your house and be nailing. Think about joiners. Think about plumbing. Think about electrical engineers. Those are fields that you might have to get certifications. Think about anything in the tradesman's world that is expensive to get done in the service industry. You should be honing that on that very, very seriously. Also, as an immigrant, think business. Think, I'm not here, I don't have the luxury like you guys who are British, apparently. Although there's nothing different about us, but just for the purpose of this video, think about what you can do to make sure that you reduce that gap by taking your money and start investing it back home, because you already have the network. A lot of us are trying now to take the bold step to move back. I have a sibling who, after living several years abroad, moved back and he's doing things. That is really good on him. But it took a lot of dipping his feet in the water and being scared. People are doing that. I'm seeing videos and I'm so excited because I want to venture down that route before the end of the year. I do have a business back home, but it's very, very light touch. But if you already have lived there, maybe you have a partner who is there, start thinking of in that direction, because you don't then find yourself stuck here thinking you're desperate. Whatever you're working, try to save. Try to live below your means when you get here. Don't get excited to get a big home to bring your kids so quickly. That is the wrong thing to do. No, no, no. Try to work hard. Just do, if you need to slave up, do that. But it's on your own terms, right? It's your own terms. You have plans. You can think about farming, buying investment property, so that after 5 to 10 years you can decide to go back. You go with your dignity. You can always come back if you live on good grounds to visit with your kids. Work hard, start investing back home so that you have a bounce back. Because if you start thinking of buying homes here, oh baby, let's not talk about buying homes as an older person abroad, especially in the UK. If you don't earn good money that you can pay your mortgage in 10 years, forget it. Forget it. If you start taking a 25-year mortgage, just come. Bring your bed. In fact, if you're looking to get a mortgage for 25 years, forget, just take that your passport and throw it. Know that you have become British, because you stay here, you get the house, every month you must work, you keep the mortgage, 25 years, you'll be 65, you'll be paying a mortgage. You cannot even stop. In fact, let me not even start. If you don't have money to put a big down payment of maybe 50,000, 60,000 pounds and get a house of 150,000, which is an investment property as well, don't get me wrong, which you can pay off in a year if you have a good job. Those of you who have ears, listen. If you have a good job where you can get a mortgage and have a big deposit, for example, where you've sold property, which I will not advise, but if you do have the money, right, you can buy a house that you can pay off in 10 years. Don't take a big ass mortgage to show that you're living in this place now with your kids, because you'll be like us. But the difference with us that we are really living, we've done our dues. And those mortgages, if you're coming in your 40s, they'll give it to you, but you'll pay till you're 60 something. Do you want to do that? No. Go and invest back home. Because when you finish in 10 years from here, after your experience working, you've gathered some money, you've saved, hopefully, you've invested, you can take your dignity and go home, and then your kids can come and study. And then that's the circle. They will be first generation immigrants. First generation immigrant kids are the guinea pigs of our time. We are still learning how life will be for them. Who are they? My kids were all born here. They sound like them. But when they go around the white folks, they say, oh, where are you from? And my kids are like, what do you mean? Oh, I'm from London. No, where are you actually from? And they start saying, oh, my parents are from Ghana, Nigeria, Cameroon, this, Congo. They still don't belong. I cannot talk. When I talk about kids, I get so emotional. Anyway, because I've seen a lot. Well, I'm not going to make this video too long. I hope that these points help, and there'll be part 2. If there's any other topic as an immigrant living abroad or looking to travel, please feel free to message me, put your comments in the comment section, and tell me what you'll do different. I have missed a lot of points because, as I said, this video was too long. I'll do a part 2. But in the meantime, I remain Lulu. This is Lulu Diaries, where I discuss topics that most people are kind of scared to talk about, to thread on. I will happily talk about them. So thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you guys definitely very soon in my next video. Thanks for the love, and if you found this video helpful, I'm going to put a video at the end which is talking about the things you should do to avoid being trapped abroad. That is very insightful, and I have a whole playlist of life as an immigrant and how to succeed in 2025. Thanks again, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.